The Tennessee Titans are not a good football team, and I think this year it's going to show. Last year, the Titans definitely had a roller coaster of a season. They started off 7-3, which in my opinion, I was looking at this roster and I was like, 7-3 for this roster is pretty mediocre right now. I felt like some things were gonna happen. I was like, 7-3, I feel like this shouldn't be going on like this, because I just didn't like the Titans roster at the time. And then they fell all the way down to 7-10. Now, some of that was because of injuries to Ryan Tannehill. Some things were going on, and the Titans ended up falling to 7-10. But in my personal opinion, I didn't really like the Titans roster. I was like 7-3 at the time. It's just odd for that team. Now, I think we can all agree the Titans' biggest problem is quarterback. Their quarterback play is a huge question going into this year. Last year, like I said, they had Ryan Tannehill before he went down. Before he went down, he had 2,500 yards, 13 TDs, and 6 interceptions. He played decent, okay? But still, Tannehill really wasn't that big of a good, like, he was a decent quarterback. He was serviceable, I would say. And then when Tannehill went down, stuff started getting totally out of whack. In the third round of the 2022 NFL Draft, with the 86th pick in the third round, the Tennessee Titans selected Malik Willis out of Liberty. Now, anyone who saw Malik in college and people around the NFL, everyone pretty much knew Malik needed to sit a year. He needed time to sit. You couldn't just throw him out to the dogs, because if he were to get thrown out to the dogs, his career was not going to end up well. And, well, he sat for a while, but Malik Willis would get his first start in a Week 8 matchup versus the Houston Texans. Malik went 5 from 10 on passing, 1 interception, and Malik pretty much, he didn't really get a lot of opportunities, I would say. He really didn't do much. The only person who did something was Derrick Henry, who had 2 touchdowns and 200 yards. So Malik looked, it was his first start, and I don't think he should have been playing, so he looked kind of, it was okay, I would say, for his first start. You could have did way better, but you know, first start, you're not even supposed to be playing. I get it. The next week is where stuff really started coming in, though. Week 9 comes along, it's Sunday Night Football, you play against Patrick Mahomes, it gets crazy, okay? This game was wild to watch, and Malik Willis' second start was not, it was mediocre too. And it wasn't a good start for Malik. 5 for 16, 80 yards, 3 sacks. I mean, like I said, he shouldn't have been starting this early in his career. He was going to get torn up by the dogs. The only reason why Tennessee was even in this game, because Derrick Henry had 2 touchdowns. If it wasn't for this, they would have pretty much, it wouldn't even have been close. Also, to show how bad this game was, the Tennessee receivers had 0 receptions. The only things that had receptions were the running backs and tight ends. That's how bad this game was for Malik Willis. Malik Willis would also get another start after these games later down the road. He went 4 for 23 and 99 yards and 2 picks. Now, a huge problem with Malik is in these games, he hasn't even thrown for 100 yards yet. That's how mediocre and bad these games were for Malik Willis, which, like I said, I don't even think he should have been out there. So with the Jacksonville Jaguars climbing now and with the Tennessee Titans on this losing streak, the division is getting very close. Now, it looked like Tennessee had the division and it looks like they were going to win it. But now the Jacksonville Jaguars starting to win games. So now the division is getting close, and it all is going to come down to this Week 18 matchup on a Saturday night. But before that, we have to play Week 17. And Week 17 game, the Titans play the Cowboys on a Thursday night. Now, most people think, okay, it's a meaningless game for the Titans. Malik can maybe get some practice in this game, maybe get some motivation, because you got to win the division next week. Because it sounds like Tannehill is not going to be able to play. So they're like, this is perfect for Malik. And they end up not playing Malik as their starting quarterback, and they end up playing Josh Dobbs, the man who's never played an NFL game before, but has been on a ton of practice squads. So yeah, they basically said, we don't want to play Malik anymore, we're done with Malik, we're going to have this guy Josh Dobbs play. And Josh Dobbs, of course, as we all should know, Josh Dobbs didn't play horrible, but of course the next week the Tennessee Titans would end up losing that game, and they end up losing the division. The Jacksonville Jaguars would go ahead and end up winning the division. Now, I felt like this was necessary to discuss Malik Willis, because at this point I feel like the Titans have now lost all confidence in Malik. After him being thrown out to the dogs right away, I feel like they've lost all confidence in him after seeing what he can do, because that's what it's sounding like to me, that they've lost all confidence in him and they really don't care about him anymore, and they're basically throwing him away, which in my opinion, I think he just got put in a bad situation at a wrong time, and he just got played way too early in my opinion. Now, like I said, I felt like this was necessary to discuss because to show how bad the Titans quarterback problem is, and there's some more stuff to even add on to it. In the second round of this year's draft, the Tennessee Titans selected Will Levis out of Kentucky. Now, this is just where it gets a little even more crazy, because even reports came out about Will Levis and OTAs not being good or looking bad, or just their quarterback situation, it's a whole of a mess. So now they got Tannehill on the roster, they got Malik still, and they got Will Levis. Their quarterback situation is a mess. Tannehill, he's getting older up in the age, he's not going to be able to start for too much longer. Malik Willis, they're basically throwing him away. I don't even know what their plan is to even do with him, and I don't even know what their plan is with Will Levis for drafting another quarterback. Their quarterback situation got to be one of the worst, if not the worst, in the NFL. It is horrid how bad the Titans quarterback situation is. Now let's talk about the man who's been running the Titans offense for a while at this point. Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry has been a great offensive weapon for the Tennessee Titans. I literally think he pretty much runs this offense. If it wasn't for Henry, this offense be in shambles. Now here's my thing with Henry. Henry's an amazing rusher, 1,000-yard season, even had a 2,000-yard season. Here's the thing, Derrick Henry is 29 years old. These running backs do not last that long in the NFL. And the fact that Derrick Henry is almost 30, that means his prime, it's got to be coming to an end soon. I mean, unless this man's about to be some Adrian Peterson, which I don't think is going to happen, his prime's going to eventually come to an end. So once Derrick Henry's prime ends, this offense really doesn't have a huge offensive weapon like they did in Derrick Henry. He's 29 now. I think he'll probably have another good season this year, but after this, the future of Derrick Henry is kind of looking a little bit bleak being at the age of 29. The Titans also don't have the best wide receiver room in the NFL. The only good wide receiver I really see on this roster is Brucks, and he's still up and coming, but I do think he will be definitely a great wide receiver. But if you really look at these other receivers, there's really not no big names like that. They're all kind of just there, I guess. The Titans also had the worst ranked O-line by PFF in the NFL, ranked dead last at 32. The Titans did at pick 11 select the O-line Peter Swansky. I probably butchered the crap out of that name, I apologize. But from the draft reports I have read, he's actually a good O-lineman, should fit well in Tennessee, hopefully to help that O-line. They also did cite Andre Dillard from Philly, and last year as part of that amazing O-line in Philly, so maybe he has potential to help too. But when you break it down, they have a quarterback room with a lot of questions, an aging running back, a wide receiver room with not a lot of talent, and an O-line that is also questionable going into next season. This offense is not looking great. I do have to admit though, Mike Vrabel is an amazing coach, but I don't know if he can be able to get over the hump of this offense this year, because I'm not lying, it's looking pretty bad. But like I said, Vrabel is an amazing coach, and maybe he'll have a way, but I personally do not see a way that this Tennessee offense does anything good this year. The Titans do have a few playmakers on defense, I will not lie, such as Jeffrey Simmons, definitely an underrated defensive player in the NFL. Also, they have Amari Hooker, he's been a great safety for a little bit now. And Kevin Byard, you know, he's getting older now, he's 29, but I think he's still great. But otherwise, besides them, this defense doesn't have a lot of, you know, eye-popping names, I would say, besides those three. Those three are pretty good, I would say. They did end up signing Sean Murphy-Bunting this offseason, which I think is a good addition to add some cornerback depth, but besides that, like I said, there's not too much there. I also want to mention this defense is very injury prone like we saw last year. There's a lot of people on that defense who got hurt. There are some players on this defense that's injury prone, which made the defense worse last year. When you can't stay on the field and you can't perform, even if you are a good player, it's going to hurt the team, make the defense look worse. Mike Vrabel is going to have a hard task to coach next year. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do because, like I said, this man is an amazing coach. I think he can do great things. It's just with this roster and its current state, I don't know if they can really go out there and contend for the division or contend for a playoff spot. I don't really know how it's going to go. So I'm really wondering what Mike Vrabel is going to do about this team. Because in my opinion, the Tennessee Titans are not a good football team, and it's going to show this year. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. Comment how you guys think the Titans are going to do this year. Are they going to do good or are they going to do bad? Because like I said, I think they're going to do bad. Also, these two videos right here, they're great. I recommend y'all should watch them. And like I said, guys, have a nice day. I'll see y'all in the next one.